Okay, we're back to connecting language and art to language arts, and we're talking about bits and pieces of art on little bits of pieces of paper. I want to draw on this size, but because we're filming, I'm going to draw on this side today.
A brave woman.
So, Tracy, what are you going to teach me today?
Well, we're going to continue to talk about stick figures. I mentioned last time that stick figures are a great tool to convey some of your ideas in language arts. Because since often you're reading, and so you're reading a story, and there are characters in the story. So stick figures are a great way to represent those characters. So, Rita, you have a stick figure approach.
Okay, so I have what I like to call my 3-year-old stick figure. And I call it this because my daughter Laura...
Because you're mean to yourself when you try to draw.
She used to draw herself as these little triangles, and it cracked me up, and so I adopted her stick figure method. So Tracy referred to this as my 3-year-old stick figure because that's what I always call it.
I never do, by the way. I'm just making fun of her and her
She's
inner
teasing
critic.
me and my inner critic because my daughter Maura used to love to draw herself, as young children often do, and she would always draw herself as this little triangle with a little whale spout hairdo. We called it her little whale spout. And then boys, of course, would have their little bodies, and she got the idea she would have these little circle arms, and I thought that was cute. That was actually one up from what I knew as an adult. So this is my stick figure. And I think, okay, seriously? That's art? Clearly, people like me who feel uncomfortable drawing, I'm stuck like in this mode. Everybody's got to have arms straight out, legs straight out. Girls wear dresses only, even though I barely ever wear dresses, right? So what do I do?
So yes, to answer your question, this is art, and I love it. You can stop here, but I sense you are frustrated.
Yes.
So I'm going to teach you 3 things that you can do to your stick figures to make them more expressive and to give you a sense of control over what you're drawing.
Okay.
All right. I want to teach you 3 very simple ways that you can adjust your stick figures in order to make them more realistic. We're going to add shoulders and hips. We're going to mess with head size.
Okay.
And we're going to put in some joints.
All right. I'm ready.
So the first thing I'm going to do is have you add 2 lines to your stick figure to make it more realistic.
Okay.
So if we go back and we look at this first guy you drew, he has arms that come straight into his body and legs that come to a upside down V straight into his body, which is not really what happens with real people. He accurately represents a person, but we can make him represent it a little closer.
That's true.
By
He doesn't even look like a real skeleton, actually,
right.
if he's bones.
So yeah, if you think of these as his body bones, his arm, leg bones, body bone, if you add 2 horizontal lines, one for his shoulders and one for his hips, we can actually hang his arms, leave a little neck space, and then add a little line, and then hang his arms off of there, and then you're going to add a little line for his hips.
Wait, can I add a hip?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
And we're going to hang his legs off of there. So if you bring, straight down or straight out or whatever you want.
All right.
There
Can I have my feet still?
Put your feet in and your hands.
Okay, and my arms.
Sure. There we go. Now, this is put together the way a person is put together.
Yes, that is better, actually. It's amazing how just that was better. Okay.
Yeah. And we're going to be able to move him around more because his arms and his legs now hang off his shoulders and his hips.
Okay.
So, and that wasn't too hard?
No. But so what do I do? Like little triangles if it's, a guy or something?
Well, speaking of which, when you look at this, is this a guy or a girl?
Yeah, it is a guy.
Okay.
I was kind of saying, like, what do I do to make it look like a girl? Because I don't have my little triangles.
All right, well, let's go with the fact that you think this is a guy. Why do you think it's a guy?
It just looks really male to me.
Right.
Yeah.
And it looks really male because of stereotypes about the male figure, which are that males have wider shoulders and narrower hips. And that's how you happen to draw your 2 lines. The stereotype for a woman, a female form, would be the opposite, that women have narrower shoulders and wider hips.
Yes, we're going to have to talk to God about that someday. Okay, so here I am, the woman. Well, now she looks like, I don't know, that looks a little weird. Why?
No.
I have a head.
Yeah, we got a head.
Okay.
No, she's a girl. She didn't have any clothes.
She does.
So,
Yeah, she's a little bigger than my guy.
It's just something to keep in mind. Another thing you might potentially want to draw is a child. So here's another sort of trick of the trade you can use to convey a child with just a stick figure, and cartoonists use this trick all the time. Kids have bigger heads compared to their bodies than adults do. So cartoonists will often, if you see a toddler drawn, they will often make the head every bit as big as the body, which of course isn't reality, but when people see it, they go, oh, that's a kid. There you go. And shorter legs and shorter arms.
Yeah, I made the body a little long.
That's all right.
Didn't I?
Yeah, it's okay.
But that does look more like a kid.
size-wise, yeah, if he were down here relative to our grown adults, that would reflect better too. But
yes, but you can actually tell. You're right. You can tell it's a kid, even though he's, even if we didn't have the adults,
Right.
you know that's a kid.
right, because of the big head.
Right. You're right.
So here's another fun detail you can add to make your stick figures more expressive, give them some more movement. Think about your arm as our stick here. You've got
Yeah.
it. So what's different about your actual arm
Well,
than
it
what
bends.
you've drawn? It bends.
Come on, don't we all walk around, with our arms straight up?
So both the arms and the legs have a joint in the middle, allowing them to bend. So you don't have to erase that for now. I mean, you can.
I'm an eraser.
Okay, you like erasing.
Hey, if it wasn't for the eraser, I wouldn't even be
The
here.
unsung hero of the world is the guy who invented the eraser.
So we have arms,
Yes.
and we have.
And we have.
Legs don't go in.
they can.
Well, okay. I guess.
All right.
I'm bow-legged.
No,
I now have a bow-legged.
He's dancing.
Well,
He's
this is my
dancing the
she.
jig. She's dancing a jig.
Okay.
So now you have knees and elbows, which leads us to all kinds of movement in the future.
Okay, so Tracy, you
Yes.
have taught me how to add shoulders and hips. You have painfully reminded me that women tend to have bigger hips than shoulders and men tend to have bigger shoulders than hips. No, actually you helped me see that actually I need to use stereotypes so
Right.
people can know
Right.
what I'm trying to convey.
It's
so that's
just a
actually
caricature.
a useful
Yeah.
thought. It's a caricature, so it's not a big political statement. And so also that although your cartoons can be political statements, I just am not talented enough for that. You taught me head size makes a difference. And yeah, I did. I criticized myself again. Oh well. And then you taught me how to bend my joints. So now instead of all my stick figures looking like this, they now all look like this. So what are we going to do about that?
All right, so the next time we get together, we'll talk about some ways to add movement, different movement, to your stick figures.
Okay.
And we'll add some surface details.
All right, when you hear the bleep bleep, it's started. Just so you know.
Okay. So Tracy, we're back.
Oh, good.
Bits and pieces of art. You've convinced me to brave this
You are a
lesson.
problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Would you say that that's a man or a woman?
That looks like a guy.
And why?
Because he doesn't have a little triangle dress.